The barn door swung wide, not with a battering ram, but with raw nerve Carla Hinsley. Head of the Shady Oaks HOA stood there arms crossed, flanked by two landscapers holding bolt cutters, as if they were about to knight someone. Jake Ramsey just made it. Don't touch that lock before it ended up in the dirt. The men ripped the doors wide enough to reveal Sheriff Tate sitting on a hay bale under a dim bulb. Boots crossed, shotgun across his lap, and a thermos of coffee in hand. "Took you long enough," he said, his grin cutting like a knife. Jake had been trimming his hedges with nail clippers, a pathetic rebellion against the HOA's never-ending rules, when he discovered the note in his mailbox. No stamp, no signature, just a piece of paper, barn breaks code, do not resist. He laughed. Defying the HOA was his new cardio. Shady Oaks was supposed to be his, and Laya's country retreat, not a prison kept by lawn-addicted dictators. He tossed the ticket and continued clipping, but Laya, his smarter half, didn't laugh. She'd always get a feeling about the HO, and not only their weekly tickets, one for a too-shiny mailbox, another for unauthorized daisies, but the cameras and pretend birdhouses, the drone that buzzed only over their lawn, the old fellow with binoculars who said he was a nature buff, but never really looked at this guy. They teased about it until the barn became their target. Jake had constructed the barn himself, a humble shed with character shelving, old vinyls equipment, and Laya's lopsided pottery creations. Nothing unsavory, just nostalgia. Or so he believed when the HOA pulled up in golf carts wearing logo vests. Jake had already called Sheriff Tate regarding trespassers. The dispatcher said Tate was occupied. Jake did not realize that was a falsehood. Tate was already within the barn, waiting as the lock dropped. Everything fell apart. Tate stood, racked the shotgun for impact, and pointed it at Carla's clipboard. "Well now," he drawled, "that's breaking and entering." Carla blinked. "This is a compliance check per section 42. Tate's laugh was sharp. "I'm the law here, lady. Your rulebook don't override me. You just forced entry into a closed site related to an investigation. Have a warrant in that purse or mere lip gloss?" Panic struck the group like a shockwave. One board member collapsed, another crashed into a rake. Ella pulled up tire-spitting gravel and saw Tate the hoe in disarray, and Jake's face looking like he'd just heard his shed was a crime scene. She didn't scream. She marched to Tate and snapped, "Why the hell are you in my barn?" He nodded at the floor. "You had a trapdoor?" "No trapdoor, you do." Now they peered down under Tate's boot. Sawdust swept was a square shape. Jake brushed aside more, exposing a hidden handle smooth in the wood. "I didn't build that," he stated. Tate handed him a crowbar. "Let's see who did." The lid creaked open, releasing a whiff of oil and metal, not moldy, but alive. Tate's flashlight lit up narrow stairs. Jake followed. Pounding heart, Leia remained topside, glaring at Carla, who was crying into her phone below. Was no cellar but a bunker, corrugated walls, shelves of binders, and a tarp-covered heap. Tate ripped it off, revealing hundreds of VHS tapes dated and addressed. One read, "Shady Oaks, 1996, 3:05. Elmway. That lot was vacant until 2001. Jake said exactly. Tate replied, "This ain't your mess. Ramsey, but you purchased it upstairs." Carla cried, "You can't arrest me." Tate climbed out, cuffed her like swatting a fly. "Trespassing, vandalism. And if these tapes prove what I believe you've done, it's just a barn." She wept. "It's a vault." He fired back that night with the barn off limits in the Hogan. Jake and Leia sat on their porch, the silence oppressive. No crickets, no wind, just fear. "What's on these tapes?" Leia asked Jake. Took a sip of his whiskey. "No clue, I do," she said. "They have been watching us all along." The mailbox creaked. Another notice: failure to lock up structure code 3.8A. Fines are pending. Repeat offenses can result in property reassignment. Neither laughed in the dark. Binoculars flashed. Morning brought a dead raccoon nailed to their door, an HOA citation attached to it, unauthorized wildlife code 6.1. Dwyla tore it down, cursing like a truck driver. Jake in his robe stared at the carcass. They didn't have a dog. Tate had removed the tapes, but when Jake requested information, he received, "Some things ain't for civilians." That hurt. It was their barn. If it contained decades of spying, they deserved to know. Leah hit the county records researching into their property's history at the zoning office. They encountered a clerk reading a book on taxider. Ermy old deeds are in the microfiche crypt. He sighed. Bring a jacket. Smells like regret. 3 hours in a dark basement, scrolling through grainy reels. Leah gas here, 1986 federal forfeit. Seized our landowner, Harold T. Vance Jake. Frowned Vance. He's a HOA founding donor. Their eyes met. The barn wasn't random. Mitt was a relic of something dark. So we're on stolen land from a shady character who helped found the HO that's now harassing us. Jake said with a trapdoor full of tapes. Yayla nodded. Tell Tate he's hoarding those tapes like a dragon. As they drew, a black SUV pulled up, driver late 60s. Bellow tie, fake tan, grinned Jake Ramsey, who's inquiring Clyde Vance. Vance, Holdings. Wyla's grip tightened. Same last name, he handed a glossy card. Sell your land, 30 days, double your purchase price. Why, Jake queried. Clyde's smile broadened. You opened something which should have remained shut. Things. You'll get messy if you remain not scared of messy. Leah said not a threat. Clyde answered, just advice. His SUV rolled off intentionally, like a ticking clock. Another note lingered at home. Unauthorized use of closed-up building code, 4.9, AE membership evaluation. Pending. Leah crushed it. I'm putting these into the neighborhood with stead no dogs, no children, like it was positing. Jake went to their neighbor Walt Perry's residence. Walt, a cheerful retiree with an immaculate lawn, hadn't been around since the barn. His lights were out. Mail stacked up, grass overgrown. The door was open inside. Everything was tidy except for a dining room table full of HOA marked VHS tapes. One had written on it, Layla Ramsey, May 10th last week. Jake's blood ran cold. He took it, ran home, and described it to Leah. We're being watched, she whispered. They huddled in dark, curtains closed, observing the street. Each house's lights went out and a drone hummed, then disappeared. Morning brought a back door knock. Leah opened it to a teen in a baggy hoodie and oversized boots grasping a sack of VHS tapes. I'm Kay Walt's granddaughter, he's gone. You're not like them, so I'm here before I disappear too. Jake cleared the table. Kay said Walt had become paranoid, hiding tapes. And Wall's his last voicemail go to the Ramseys. They know they played a tape, rainy 2002. The HOA clubhouse porch people exchanged thick envelopes for folders. Carla and Evelyn Hole. The HOA's first president brought in a man in cuff. Not by police, but board members. This isn't surveillance, Leah explained, it's blackmail. The tape revealed spied on neighbors, secret meetings, vans at unusual times. A man with a shovel vanishing into the woods. Leah discovered a 1998 memo regarding Blue Home classification hidden in unrelated documents. Blue Home nominees have to be listed prior to review. Holt to complete. Jake and Kay broke into the HOA office. It had the stench of bleach and decay. Behind a membership cabinet's false panel was a binder. Presidential access, only 23 profiles, marked blue, described infractions and plans for removal. Jake and Leah's was number 20. As Jake took pictures, lights flashed, kissed. Someone's here. They struck as Clyde Vance and Tate arrived. They're moving fast, Clyde said. Speed up the plan. Tate sighed. Too much heat after the barn. Wexler's handled, but his kids sniffing, they left back home. Leah discovered the green belt at the back of their lot was a Vance-owned smuggling route. A knock came. Carla, disheveled, desperate, stood there. They'll kill me, she whispered, shoving a flash drive at Leah. Everything's here. Deals, payoffs, blue files. You're on their list, so you're the only ones who can end this. In the dark, Jake held the drive like it might burn him. Leah cracked its encryption, revealing spreadsheets of discarded homeowners, logs of silenced critics, and audio of Tate saying, piss them off, they'll break the rules themselves. Kay said, what now? Leah called Dana Wells, a journalist who brought down the housing scam. Dana came with equipment, and Coffee confirmed the documents and cautioned, this will bring down more than the HOA cops' banks. Perhaps, senators, you'll be targets. Isla didn't flinch. We already are. Dana prepared a documentary. Jake was going to crash the next HOA meeting. He came with cookies and a projector showing clips. Carla counting bribes. Tate ordering illegal drones. Profit schemes for evictions. The room exploded, screams tossed rule books. Someone rushing at Tate who ran. Jake left the projector on that evening. Someone burned the corner of the barn. Leah saw the fire. Jake hosed them out barefoot, gasoline and rags. No witnesses, but the warning was clear. A deputy arrived morning threatening a warrant for Jake's trespass and data theft. They had 24 hours. They won't give up. Jake said, "Neither will we." Leah replied. A note slid under their door meeting, moved below. No details. Just menace. Leah knew it meant the HOA's secret bunker under the garden center. Dana wired them with mics. Kay played their sulky teen. A hidden panel led to a steel door and a war room table. Clyde Tate, 2 board members, and 2 suits waited. "You came?" Clyde said, "Smart or stupid, what's this?" Leah demanded, "A deal." Clyde purred, "Sell, leave, get rich, the HOA lives on, you've had your tantrum." Tate added, "We maintained order. You'll destroy lives revealing this, you sprinted people away." Leah spat allegedly. Clyde responded, "Proven," she retorted, flashing their drive. The suits murmured. Clyde's smile dissipated. Tate glanced at the drive like a bomb. "Release that you'll destroy more than us." Clyde threatened. "Good," Leah said. They exited. Dana uploaded the meeting recording. Neighbors knocked, providing tape support. The street remained mute. No joggers, no birds. Sirens awakened. Jake cruisers, and a Fed SUV parked in front. Tate and civvies appear exhausted. A Fed agent as cold as steel explained that their illegally obtained documents could kill the case. So whistleblowing assist them. Jake snapped. "Justice ain't linear," the agent explained. "Let us deal with it." "No more leaks," Tate grumbled. "You have enemies I can't control," Ella inquired. "Why support them?" He hesitated. That alternative was worse. That evening, the neighborhood convened on a soccer field. Jake and Leah played a 10-minute expose. Spawns twisted shock rage tears. No applause, just resolve. Jake called for a new HOA board vote. Confessions flowed, neighbors ratting out, neighbors installing cameras under duress. The vote was unanimous. Jake is interim president. He froze, fines demanded audits, and opened the barn as an archive trapdoor and all. Clyde disappeared, rumored to have fled the country. Tate was suspended. Files became evidence. A new note appeared. "See you soon." Code 43. Jake smiled round. 2. L.A. smirking.